Playing basketball, it was pretty much all I knew growing up as a kid, even as my young ages.
I started playing soccer when I was 3 years old, and I've played my whole life. It's been my whole life, as long as I can remember.
Growing up in Nineveh, Indiana, I was close to this base called Camp Atterbury. I always saw a soldier, and I was one of the kids that would go up and shake their hand, say thank you for their service.
My sophomore year of high school, I was injured in one of our last games. I was taken out on a breakaway, and John Ross was one of the only coaches that continued his recruiting process with me and was still interested in having me as a recruit, even knowing that I had another year to go in my recovery process and that I might not be the same player that I was.
I had got a call from Coach Dorn, but I missed the call, the first call, and because I was sleeping, and then the next call, my high school coach called me, and he was like, NIU wants to offer you official visit.
I didn't see none of my family members go to college. My daddy didn't go, my mom didn't go, my older brother, he didn't go. So, I mean, I knew I had to go to college just to be the first one for my family and just set a standard for my sons, because that's what I really think about.
Growing up, I never really thought about college just because of the money situation. Like, I always knew it was gonna become, I would have to go to school because of a sport.
Like when we were little, college really wasn't discussed. We didn't talk about going to college or going to school. Like you got a job or you ran the streets, you did whatever you had to do to make ends meet.
Getting a scholarship to play basketball for a Division I school was like a dream come true. I mean, everybody want to go to the league, but everybody don't make it to the league. So getting a scholarship to hoop for 4 years was a blessing.
I think like a day before the visit ended, he offered me a full ride. So when I went to my room, I was like, wow. Like I don't know. Like I was still like kind of like in shock. I was like, dang. Like I'm finna like come here and play football. I'm finna like everything's about to change.
I kind of expected just like to have like a family that's always there for you on the baseball team. So I found out like even though you're going through rough patches, your team's always going to be there for you.
My teammates are my biggest supporters. They have been there for me all the time. I could go to them and cry every single night and they would hear it, and they were like my family that I didn't have here. Just knowing that after everything that I had been through, I was able to come back and play soccer again was amazing. It was such a good feeling.
I mean, there's guys on the team that I've been knowing ever since I've been here. So I do call those guys my brothers. And if it wasn't for those guys, keeping me together sometimes and keeping my head on strong sometimes, I probably wouldn't have made it, to be honest.
Friendships that I made here at NIU are closer than the ties that I had back at home.
It's pretty awesome. I've never kind of had that feeling even in high school. It never felt like that. It's like we're all in it together.
This athletic department has become a family because we're there for each other. We go through the ups and the downs, and we have to laugh together and smile, and then there's times when we cry, and sharing that and sharing these emotions and going through this roller coaster together is what makes us all a family.
The guys around me have definitely told me that you got to have a plan, another plan if your first plan doesn't work. I would like to do like social working or counseling, something like that to deal with kids, because if I could help kids that's been in my position or in a worse position than I was when I was younger, I think that's a big deal, because I didn't have that when I was growing up. So I want to be that or that outlet for someone.
And so they said they had never had a student athlete commissioned as an officer out of NIU. So that really inspired me, because not only would I get to play basketball, but I'd get to do my dream, and then I'd also be the first person to graduate as a student athlete and become an officer in the Army.
Without NIU, without college basketball, I really don't know where I would be. I mean, if it wasn't for basketball and a scholarship for basketball, I would probably be working a job somewhere, doing something that I know I do not want to do. And just this opportunity is so it's a blessing. It is a blessing for anybody who ever gets this opportunity, because it lets you continue your dreams. It lets you do something that the people where you're from never or normally doesn't do.
If I didn't get my scholarship from NIU, I mean, I would probably be working in the union, in the steel mills, trying to just make a quick buck instead of going through college and trying to just, like, live out my dreams.
You know, a few years ago, I kind of like seen like a change and a shift towards my family, like attitude towards college, and the kids in my family, my cousins and stuff, they started to, you know, try to get that push and want to get to college, want to get out and, you know, make a difference. And the experience that I've you know, been blessed with thus far won't only change my life, but will change, you know, my cousins' lives and just other kids that, you know, have been in my situation or in a worse situation.
I have the best people here working with me. I have the people working to support me and people working for me to get back on the field. And that feeling of knowing that I have that was such a good feeling. And that's when I knew that NIU was going to be the best place for me. It was because of the people that were there and the opportunities that I had because of it.
I'm thankful for the scholarship just because I don't have to work in the mills. Like, those mills, my dad tells me, because he works in them, he tells me every day how terrible it is. When he calls me, he's like, get your degree. That's the most important thing in life. So without NIU, that wouldn't be possible.
Honestly, I don't know, like, what I would, you know, where I would be, but I don't think I would be doing anything like positive, you know, to help anyone. So.
Well, considering I didn't even think I was gonna get a scholarship until it really got closer to my junior year, I gotta think on how to even describe this right now.
So I feel like it's different from a lot of places, because when you get to a place where people are willing to help you and willing to see you succeed, it's a really beautiful thing, and I feel like NIU has that.
I just envision, you know, doing my dream every single day. And then on top of that, I get the military experience. I'm gonna graduate as a second lieutenant in the Army, none of which I thought I was gonna do. And I would have just had to go through the military if I didn't have a scholarship. And the fact that somebody supports me and they have no idea who I am, they're a stranger and they worked hard for their money and they're willing to give it away just so I can better myself and have a bright future. I mean, you can't thank someone enough for that.
I want to thank you all for being a part of our family.